कुंज विहारी गोपजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरवन सारथी यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरवन सारथी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरवन सारथी यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरवन सारथी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरवन सारथी यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरवन सारथी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। श्री श्री राधा माधव की जय। श्री गंधर्व के गिरधारी श्रीमान चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय। श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव अनंत देव भक्तराज प्रहलाद महाराज की। जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। भगवान गुरु महाराज की जय। All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udire Nashtaprayesu Abhadreshu Nishyam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Pankajanabhaya Namo Pankajamalini Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangriye Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pankulangayate Girim Ekrigatama Vande Sri Gurum Dinatharinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Isaram Ayom Tatsat Jagatguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So we welcome you all to this morning Bhagavatam study class. Hare Krishna. So yesterday we were discussing about the introduction of this 11th canto. So the discussion between okay. So we'll put it for ice-breaking session. 7 minutes. Right. So I think some more need to be added. Okay. Meanwhile, we'll have this ice-breaking session. So actually, this discussion was between whom and whom. There are two pairs of discussion. So about this Bhagavata Dharma, who and all those personalities. Hare Krishna. So I'm audible, Prabhu?
Yes, bro. Yes, bro.
Audible. Yes. So yesterday I was explaining the introduction, how it came. So this discussion has come. Who asked the question and who narrated the story? So where it was happened.
Hare Krishna. Between Vasishtha and Nimi, yesterday you have been explained.
So not exactly Mataji. Vasishtha and Nimi. Vasishtha is the spiritual master of Nimi. So Vasishtha actually curses Nimi. But yes, actually this discussion was in between Navayogendras and Nimi Maharaj. And actually this was narrated by Narada Muni on the request of Vasudeva. Vasudeva is the father of Krishna. So Vasudeva was asking, so what is the meaning of pure devotional service and what is real Bhagavata Dharma? So then Narada Muni narrates this discussion which was happened between Navayogendras and Maharaja Nevi. Yes.
Prabhu, and it is about Bhavaroga and Bhavaishada, right? Liberation from illusion.
Yes, that topic actually. That topic is like Bhavaushada. So the discussion, pastimes of Supreme Lord, his activities. So and his leelas are called Bhavaushada for this Bhavaroga of the humanity. Yes, Mother. Just my question was, so the discussion between whom and whom. So
King Prabhu.
Yes, first discussion was between Vasudeva and Narada Muni. And Narada Muni narrates the discussion which was happened earlier between Navayogendras and Maharaja Nevi. Okay, so now Rishabdev has got 100 sons. So who are those 100 sons?
Yeah, Prabhu.
Yes.
First is Bharata Maharaj.
Yes, Prabhu.
And 9 Kshatriyas.
Yes.
And 81 Brahmanas.
Yes.
And Navakumaras, 9 members.
Navayogendras,
9 members.
Yes, Navayogendras. 4 Kumaras are there. They are Brahma's sons.
Yes.
So these Navayogendras are the sons of Rishabdev.
Rishabdev,
right?
Yes.
So who is the father of Maharaja Nimi? So his father also got 100 sons.
Yes, Ishwaku.
Yes. So Ishwaku is the father of Maharaja Nimi. So then, so what are the topics this particular chapter is going to deal? So just if you remember, you can tell, or else I'll discuss. So this particular chapter mainly describes about the nature and the activities of illusory potency and the method of becoming free from the Maya's insurmountable grip and the transcendental situation of the Supreme Lord Narayana and the process of Karma Yoga by which one becomes free from all material activities. So this particular topic discusses these 4 important things. Actually, yesterday I was telling, so Maharaja Nimi, he poses 9 questions to 9 Yogendras. So one Yogendra will answer one question of Maharaja Nimi. So these are very, very important questions and very philosophical and very deep in subject. So because these two are like Navayogendras and Maharaja Nimi, they are pure devotees of the Lord. When there is a discussion going on between these two important devotees, so it will be like Bhavaushada, because these are the topics related to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So for that reason, these are like Bhavaushada for Bhavarogis. Who are Bhavarogis? Who are Bhavarogis?
I am.
We are all Gaurav.
Yes, we are.
We are
I
in the
don't know.
material world. We are the Bhavarogi.
Yes, mother. Yes, we are in the material world. So we are all suffering with Bhavaroga. So that Bhavaroga is cured by this Bhavaushada. What is that Bhavaushada? The descriptions and the
Lord
narrations
Krishna.
about Lord Krishna. Yes, yes, thank you very much. So yesterday I have given a little introduction about this particular chapter. Actually, this 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is especially, it contains 31 chapters. So the first chapter, it deals with the disappearance of Edo dynasty, first chapter, and the second to fifth chapter. So it describes about the discussion between Navayogendras and Nimi Maharaj, and from 6th to 29th, 6th chapter to 29th. So it is about Uddhava Gita, the longest philosophical discussion between Supreme Personality of Godhead and his pure devotee Uddhava. So actually there are 12 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. So the longest philosophical discussion. Generally, there will be discussions in the Bhagavatam between two great exalted personalities. But this discussion will go like nearly like from 6th chapter to 29th. So approximately 25 chapters. So 25 chapters, there is a discussion between Krishna and his pure devotee Uddhava. So the deep discussions were went on. So in the 11th canto, and the 30 and 31st, these two chapters, it will describe in-depth discussion of disappearance of Vedu dynasty. This is also called as Mausala Leela. Mausala Leela. Mausala means Gada. So Leela. So this Edo dynasty was disappeared by the curse of sages. So the sages, in front of sages, the sons of Krishna who are very young, so they wanted to test whether they are new real yogis, real sages, or dummy sages. So they came in front of these sages. So especially Samba and his party. Samba was dressed in a woman dress, and as if he was carrying. So inside of his shari, he puts one pillow, and they come in front of the sages, and they ask the sages, can you determine which child is going to born for this particular woman? So actually he is not a woman, he is a man, and he is the son of Lord Krishna, Samba. So Samba was decorated as a pregnant woman in front of the sages. But these are like childish activities, but they wanted to ridicule, or they wanted to misbehave in front of these sages. So then sages who are pure Brahmanas, they understand this is the arrangement of the Lord. So they curses Edo dynasty, stating that the one who borns from your stomach or your womb, it will be the cause of your destruction, the destruction of your dynasty. So from your womb, a mace will arouse. So that mace is the cause of your destruction, like that. So Narada Muni, especially Narada Muni and his party, will curses this Yadu children. So then they will bewilder and they will go to Ugrasena, and Ugrasena so recommends them just to make this maize into powder, and after that you throw it into the Arabian Ocean. So like that you can escape from this danger. So Ugrasena tells like that. They make it powder and they will throw into the ocean. So after some time, all these particles will come into the shore of the Arabian Sea. There they will sprouted as long bamboo sticks, like long bamboo sticks. And one after powdering, only one small part will be there. they will throw it in the ocean. Then one fish eat it. Actually, one fish swallow it, and one person named Jera, he caught hold of the fish, and when he cuts that fish, he will find that small iron piece, and he use it for his arrow because it is like sharp edge. So he use it for his arrow. So after that, in the Mausala Leela, in-depth description of the Edu dynasty disappearance was discovered, explained. So now we are discussing about 2nd to 5th chapter, especially the main discussion between Navayogendras and Maharaja Nemi. So Maharaja Nemi puts some questions, some 9 questions. Those 9 questions are answered by Navayogendras. So just I want to give a brief description about these 9 questions. So which was posed by Maharaja Nemi, and the answers in just a brief, not in detail. So, Kalan Prabhu, can you share that, Prabhu? I have given the PPT. Yes, Prabhu. So it is very important. This is a important subject matter. So we have to understand this. So, because the discussion between the pure devotees is meant for ultimate human welfare. If we thoroughly understand these things, so then it is easy path for liberation. So in the discussion, it is mentioned when Yogendra, one of the Yogendra Kavi, answers to the question of Maharaja Nemi, what is the highest good for humanity? So then Sri Kavi answers it. So the highest good for humanity is the pure devotional service of the Supreme Lord. So if you take this path, this pure devotional service, even if you blind yourself with a cloth, and even if you run at a speed of a jet, if you run also, so you will never fall down. So this is the answer of Kavi to the question of Maharaja Nemi. So if one takes to the path of this pure devotional service, and if you blind yourself by a cloth, by closing your eyes, and if you start running also, you will not fall down even at the speed of jet. So that is, it is the wonderful path to the liberation, to go to back to Godhead. So that is why all the humanity, the highest good thing is taking Bhagavata Dharma. So actually, generally, if a person is bound with a cloth, so to his eyes, he will not he will not go straight in the path. So he will open his hands and he will search everything, whether any person is coming in front of me, he will be a hurdle for me, like that he will go like this. But if you take to pure devotional service, you should not at all bother about your goal, because even if you close your eyes and if you walk or if you run also, so you will never fall down. Moreover, you will automatically, so if you are situated in the path, so you will go to ultimate goal, that is Supreme Personality of Godhead, so Vaikuntha. So this is the first question. What is the highest good for humanity? So the highest good for humanity is Bhagavata Dharma or pure devotional service. The answer was given by one of the Navayogendra. His name is Sri Kavi. So and the second question was, so what are the qualities of the practitioner who practices this pure devotional service? So then, so there are 3 types of practitioners in this Bhagavata Dharma, pure devotional service. Those pure those personalities or those characteristics are like, they are like Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, Uttamadhikari. So this was answered by Sri Haviri. And the third question, what are the nature and activities of Maya? So this was the third question posed by Maharaj Nimi. So then Sri Antariksha so describes our answer to that question. So actually the nature and activities of Maya is it makes Jiva wander in samsara. So the present topic which we are discussing is this one. So Sri Antariksha, he narrates the nature and activities of Maya. So in simple thing, the nature and activities of Maya is and Maya makes Jiva to wander in samsara. And the fourth question posed by Maharaj Nemi. Okay, so we understand the nature and activities of Maya. Then how one can overcome this Maya? So for this question, Prabuddha, one of the Yogendra, so he narrates, so if one surrenders to Guru and perform bhakti under his guidance, so one can easily overcome this Maya. So this was the question, this was the answer. And the next question, the fifth question was posed was, what are the futures of Supreme Personality of Godhead, especially Narayana? So then for this, one more Yogendra, Pippalaina answered that. So the Supreme Personality, so can be observed in three features. So those are like, it was said in Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, Vadanti tat vidas tattvam yat jnanam atvayam Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaneti iti sapyate. The absolute truth will be in three features. One is Brahman, and the second one is Paramatma, and the third one is Bhagavan. So these three features that Bhagavan Narayana will be having. So then you will ask about how we can make, how we can perfect our life. So who will never take this Bhakti Yoga? In what way? So people who don't take Bhakti Yoga can be get perfection. Then for that question, so actually indirectly you will ask what is Karma Yoga? How Karma Yoga will help to the practitioners? Then Avir Hotra answers the question. So in Karma Yoga there are two types are there. One is Pravritti Marga and Nivritti Marga. So Pravritti Marga means whatever karma they will do, they will expect some result. This is like sense gratification. And Nivritti Marga, whatever they do, they will not expect any result. That it is called like Niskama Karma Yoga. So this is one, and even if one takes to Karma Yoga also, he has to approach Guru and he has to worship deity. And the seventh question posed by Nimi is, what are the past tense and what are the different incarnations of the God? So then Navayogendra, one of the Navayogendra, Drumila. So he answers that there are 6 kinds of avatars of the Lord. So in each avatara, it has some specificity. So they are like Purusha avataras, Guna avataras, Manvantara avataras, Leela avataras, Yuga avataras. So like this, Durmila Rishi, you'll answer the question. So next, 8th question, what are the destinations of the non-devotee? So if one doesn't take to the path of spirituality or pure devotional service, then how his future will be? So for that, Chamasarasi, so and one of another Navayogendra. So if one doesn't take to devotional process, so he has to like he is leading like an animal life, and ultimately he has to go to hell, and his full life will be like distress. So this is like a simple answer. So in-depth answer is there between 2nd and 5th chapters. So of 11th canto, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, these 4 chapters in detail, they will answers to the questions of Nemi. And the last question, so there are how many colors does Lord appear in all the 4 yugas? So then Rishi, Karabhajana Rishi explains the 4 Yuga avatars. So in these 4 Yuga avatars, Lord appears in white, red, blue, and yellow color. So, and he also explains indirectly explains the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and how this movement was spread like a wildfire in the Kali Yuga. He will narrate about these 9 questions. So like this, there are 9 questions were posed by Maharaja Nimi, and Navayogendras will answer very systematically with in-depth philosophy. So they answer perfectly. Okay. So from next slide, bro. Hare Krishna, next slide, bro. Yes. So actually, I explained that these are Navayogendras, they are very pure devotees of the Lord. So in the Bhagavatam, they were described as Paramahamsas. So actually, we have 4 orders of life. Actually, there are Varnasrama system. In olden days, there was one Varnasrama system. So what are Varna and what are Ashramas? And who has invented this Varnashrama system? Hare Krishna. Can anybody answer? What are 4 Varnas and 4 Ashramas and who invented this system?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra Prabhu.
So these are like 4 Varnas. Right? And what are 4 Ashramas?
Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa.
Yes, very good. Yes, Mataji, very good. So we have like actually these 4 orders. One is 4 are Varnas and 4 are Ashramas. Actually, these 4 Varnas and 4 Ashramas invented by Supreme Personality of God. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, Chatur Varnam Maya system, Guna Karma Vibhagasaha. Chatur Varnam, 4 Varnas were designed by me himself, me, myself. So what are those 4 Varnas? Brahmachari, Brahmana, Vaishya, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. And there are also 4 orders of life, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. So Sannyasa is the topmost order. So in the sannyasa also there are 4 types. So those 4 are called Kutichaka, Bahudaka, Parivrajikacharya and Paramahansa. So in the sannyasa also there are gradations. So first and foremost and very primitive, just in the beginning of the sannyasa, so that stage is called Kutichaka. So what happens now? In the 4 ashramas, one brahmachari ashrama, up to 25 years, they will practice this brahmachari ashram under the guru. So in the Gurukul. So after that, after 25 years, if they are interested, they can enter into Grihastha ashram. So this ashram also will be up to 25 years. That means up to 50. From 26 to 50, this Grihastha ashram will be there. And after that, so there is one more ashram, that is Vanaprastha ashram. That means both and husband and wife, they themselves avoid the sex life and they will roam throughout the country. So and they will visit Punya Kshetras and they will worship the Lord, but they will not indulge in sex life. So this is called Vanaprastha ashram. So and the last one is sannyasa ashram, where so the particular person, so even he will not associate with his own wife. So what to say about others? So in this 4th ashram, that is sannyasa ashram. So he will be alone. So he will practice alone. In the first stage of sannyasa, which is called Kutichaka, so he voluntarily come out of the house and he in the corner or in the outside of a village, he resides by constructing a small kutir. So he will construct a small house or small kutir. Because of that, he was called as Kutichaka. So there he will take support from the family members because he was not perfected. So for prasadam and all, he will depend on the family members. But he will not have attachment, but he will take the support from the family members for the prasadam. This is called Kutichaka. And the second one is Bahudaka. So Bahudaka is the advanced stage of Kutichaka, where so he was not fully dependent on the family members for prasadam, and he will take very less prasadam once in 2 days or once in 3 days. So that too, you will take very little. For example, so if you take the 6 Goswamis, so they are also in sannyasa ashram. So they used to take little bit from the that particular Rajavasis. So once in 3 days, they will take little buttermilk or little milk or little like 1 or 2 chapatis. So like that, once in 3 days, like that they used to take. So we will come to know these 6 Goswamis, how they lead their life. Especially they wanted to go to Grihasthas, so and they will beg from them. So little thing, whatever they give, so they will take for their purification. and they will instruct Grihasthas about the goal of life. So this is second one. And the next one is Parivrajaka-charya. So in this stage of sannyasa, that particular personality will never reside in the kutir. So he started to travel throughout the world, so to spread the glories of the Lord. So say suppose we can take like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So our Srila Prabhupada and his disciples, like all Maharajas, so they are like Parivrajakacharyas. So and so they will never sit at one place, and they will roam all over the world, and they will preach the glories of the Lord. So this is third stage. This is called Parivrajakacharyya, and the last one is Paramahamsa stage. So in this stage, so they were fully into the devotion. So and in everybody they will see Supreme Personality of Godhead, and so it is not necessary that they have to travel. These Paramahamsa people, they are in full samadhi. So they are always in Nitya Leelas of Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are in deep meditation. But sometimes, so what they will do, no? So these Paramahamsas, they will come down to Parivrajakacharyya stage, and they wanted to spread the glories of the Lord. So that is why, so we will call Srila Prabhupada as Namo Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharyya Ashtottarasata Srimad is Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada Ki Jai. So like that, actually, Srila Prabhupada, before going to foreign or before going to America, he was sitting at one place in Vrindavan, and he was aramse, he was writing books, and he was in deep meditation of the Supreme Lord. But on the order of his Guru, he will travel to the Western world. So that is why Prabhupada was called as Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharyya. Okay, so in the same way, these Navayogendras, they are also called Paramahamsas. They are called Parivrajakacharyas also. So because they are the pure devotees of the Lord, and they always want to spread the glories of the Supreme Lord throughout the world. In that way, one day, so they comes to Maharaja Nimi, when Maharaja Nimi was performing this sacrifice. So, okay, so this is the introduction about the this 11th chapter, 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam about Navayogendras and Maharaja Nimi. So now we'll go for fourth sloka of Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 3rd chapter. 11th canto, 3rd chapter, 4th verse. So this is one of the important topic in important shloka. So in the chapter, so liberation from the illusory energy. So this is the discussion between Maharaja Nimi and Antariksha Muni. So who is one of the Navayogendra. So Kalan Prabhu, will you share the sloka, Prabhu? Okay, thank you. So the sloka goes like this. Evam srishtani bhutani pravishta panchadhatubhihi ekada dashadatmanam vibhajan chusate gunan. Translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. The super soul enters the material bodies of the created beings, activates the mind and senses, and thus causes the conditioned souls to approach the three modes of material nature for sense gratification. So, purport. The following is a summary of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's commentary on this verse. The one super soul enters the gross material elements, earth, water, fire, air, and ether, and uses the activated material mind to certainly divide the sensory activities of the conditioned souls among the 5 knowledge acquiring senses, which are eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin, and by a further gross division, the 5 working senses, the hands, legs, speech, genitals, and anus. Because liberated souls have a strong tendency to serve the Lord, they are not attracted by the dualities of the material good and evil. They derive their pleasure through devotion and love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who eternally enjoys his own transcendental pastimes beyond the material manifestation. When the conditioned souls forget their loving relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they develop illicit desires. Therefore, unable to serve the form, taste, fragrance, and the other aspects of Lord Vishnu, these souls become bound to the bitter fruits of fruitive activities. But if their love of Godhead is somehow or other awakened, the conditioned soul can dovetail all their sensory activities in the service of the Lord's transcendental pastimes. Actually, all the materialistic activities are most undesirable. But the conditioned soul, under the influence of illusion, sees apparent distinction between good and bad, pleasing and displeasing, and so on. The Lord, the super soul, having entered the collective and individual consciousness of the living entities, knows the heart of everyone. Therefore, when a sincere soul aspires to spiritual perfection, the Lord frees him from the material bondage and arouses his propensity to serve the Lord of Vaikuntha. Love of Godhead flourishes in the variegated flavors of transcendental enjoyment. In ignorance, however, the conditioned soul considers himself the proper object of service and thus misunderstands the entire existential situation. So, Hare Krishna. Yes. So this is sloka. So explains about how Lord enters into the jiva. So actually we all know that. So when a person falls out from the Vaikuntha, so which is a wonderful place. So when one goes to it, nobody returns actually. So, but if one falls down accidentally from Vaikuntha, they have to enter into this material world, which comprises of three modes of material nature. Which comprises of three modes of material nature. So actually, when Jiva enters into this material world, so as per the descriptions of Bhagavatam, so that particular soul was dropped into the clouds. So that Jiva will reside in the cloud in unmanifested form. And when these clouds rains, so in the form of water, these Jivas will reach the earthly planet. And as soon as they reach this earthly planet in the form of water, so these were taken by these plants. So plants absorb the water from their roots, so from the groundwater. So as soon as this water was taken by the plants, the Jiva also entered into the plants. When these plants were eaten by human beings or animals, say suppose these plants were eaten by human beings, so that particular Jiva again entered into the human beings. So like father or mother. So when father meets with the mother, so that Jiva was impregnated into the womb of mother. So as soon as that Jiva enter into the womb of mother, so then it will not automatically, we saw in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Lord Kapila was explaining to his mother Devahuti about the development of an embryo in the womb of a mother. So in this, for a embryo to develop into a perfect human being, it will take 9 months. So in these 9 months, actually, the Jiva develops all body parts. So prior to that, Supreme Lord enters into the Jiva. So without the Supreme Lord involvement, so Jiva will not exist. So as soon as Jiva develops these all body parts, Lord enters into these 5 elements, so which are called Panchabhutas. With the help of 5 elements, he again enters into the 5 working senses and 5 knowledge acquiring senses. Actually, these are explained in second canto of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and also in some of the parts of Srimad Bhagavatam. They are called as 24 elements of nature. So these 24 elements comprises different structures of a living entity. So Panchaputas, we all know that our body is made up of these Panchaputas. Kalan Prabhu, will you share that PPT, Prabhu? The last slide.
Yeah, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So, what are those 24 elements of the nature? Our actually, a jiva will be made up of these 24 elements of the nature. So, first one is 5 gross material elements. So, what are those 5 gross material elements? Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Can anybody tell that these 5 elements are there in our body? They are there or what? Just for the sake of telling, I am explaining, or they are really there? These 5 are there or not in our body? These Panchaputas are there or not?
Yes, Prabhu. What ether is what, Prabhu? Can you little more ether?
So ether is nothing but sky, Prabhu. So sky, we know no, these Panchaputas, earth, water, fire, air, and sky. So how sky is there in the human body? We know that earth is there in the form of bones and hair. Water is there in the form of blood and other fluids. Fire is there in the form of what we call
Jataragni.
Jataragni. So yes, bro, correct. Thank you. And the air, we know that there are 10 types of air which is moving in the body of a jiva. These are called like prana, pana, vayus. So air also there. Then how ether is there? How sky is there in the body?
Prabhu,
Yes,
when
ma'am.
comes to Lord Krishna, he is only the Vaikuntha, he is only the Paramatma.
Right.
So we might call like presence of Paramatma in the sky. The same way, in each and every body, Paramatma will exist.
Actually, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, Mataji, in the 7th chapter, 3rd sloka, Bhumi Rapo Analo Vayu, Kamano Buddhi Revacha, Ahankara Miti Yamme, Binna Prakriti Astada. Lord has 2 types of Prakriti. So one is inferior Prakriti and the other one is superior Prakriti. So inferior Prakriti comprises of Bhumi Rapo Analo Vayu, Kamano Buddhi Revacha, Ahankara Miti Yamme, Binna Prakriti Astada. So what are that inferior Prakriti? Inferior Prakriti contains 8 elements. Binna Prakriti Astada. Astada means 8. So what are those 8 things? Panchabhutas. Apart from that, mind, intelligence, and ego. Mano, Buddhi, Evacha, Ahankaram. Ahankara means false ego. Mana means mind. Buddhi means intelligence. These are subtle elements. And 5 gross elements. What are those? Bhumi, Rapo, Bhumir, Apo, Analo, Vayu, Kam means sky. So this sky is represented as empty space in the human bodies. There will be empty spaces in the human bodies between one organ and another organ. So how we can understand there is ether in the body? Through when, if say suppose something goes in the sky, like one aeroplane and helicopter, how you can understand without seeing helicopter, aeroplane, there is something going on in the sky?
By hearing it, Prabhu. Like
By the sound vibration, we can understand that. So sky is existing and some vehicle is going in that. In the same way, in our body also. So how we can identify this ether in the body? Because of various types of sound vibrations. So yes, so these 5 gross material elements makes Panchabhutas, external body. And there are 5 knowledge acquiring senses in our body. So they acquire knowledge through these 5 senses. So everybody knows what are those? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. And there are objects for these 5 senses. For each and every sense, there is an object. Say for eyes, what is the object? Rupa. That means some structure. So with the eyes, we can see all the things in the world. And the second one is ears. So with the ears, we can have sabda, we can hear. So that is sabda. So what now we are doing, like hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita daily, and we are chanting daily. So what we are chanting, we are hearing with the help of ears. So the sabda is the object of ears. And the third one is nose. So with the help of our nose, so we are daily smelling gandha. So the flowers are tulsi leaf offered to the Supreme God. So we are doing it with our nose. And the fourth one is tongue. So this, with the help of tongue, we are tasting different types of rasas or ruchis. So we offer Lord the different varieties of the food stuff. So after offering it, we'll take with the help of tongue, we'll enjoy the different rasas of the food stuff. And the last one is skin. Skin will help us to have sparsha. So when we meet, so devotees when they meet, they will hug themselves. So and enjoy that sparsha, because by touching devotees, their foots, lotus feet, or by embracing them, so devotees will feel very happy. So when Krishna enters in the prastha, so Maharaja Yudhishthir and his 4 brothers, so they happily embrace Supreme Personality of Godhead with their skin. So that is sparsha. So these are 5 sense objects, and there are 5 knowledge acquiring senses. Sorry, it is mistaken. These are 5 working senses. So please correct it as 5 working senses. We have 5 working senses. Those are hands. We have 2 hands, 2 legs, tongue, genitals, and anus. So in the 5 knowledge acquiring senses also tongue has come, and in the 5 working senses also tongue has come. So why it is kept like that? So what is the role of tongue in the 5 knowledge, 5 working senses? What role tongue will do here? Hare Krishna. So generally tongue has 2 functions. What are those 2 functions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Speaking and experiencing the taste, Prabhu.
Yes.
Yes.
So one is
Anything.
vacha, another one is rasa. So vacha means, so with the help of tongue we'll speak. So that speaking also one of the work. So these 5 working senses are like hands, legs, tongue, genitals. We all know genitals for reproduction purpose, and anus for excretion purpose. And apart from this, there are 4 other elements, which are mind, intelligence, ego, and unmanifested stages of 3 modes of material nature. What are those 3 modes? What are those 3 modes?
Tattva Rajas Tamo.
Yes, very good. So in that way, so these 24 elements so will make a jiva's body. Okay, so here Supreme Personality of Godhead, once the jiva take birth in the womb of a mother, Lord automatically enters into these 5 gross elements. With the gross element, he certainly goes to 5 knowledge acquiring senses and 5 working senses, and he activates mind. In that way, when all the body parts are activated, then jiva starts enjoying this material nature, because he was fall down to this material nature. As soon as he comes out of the womb of the mother, so he will be in the 3 modes of material nature. With the help of 3 modes of material nature, with his activated senses, like 11 senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 working senses, so Supreme Lord, and mind. Mind is also one of the senses. So Krishna is saying in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Manas Sastani Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. So in this material world, with the 6th sense of mind, human beings are struggling a lot. So Krishna is considering mind also one of the senses. So there are 6 senses, there are 11 senses including mind. So with these 11 senses, when they got activated, Jiva wanted to enjoy this material nature. So in that way, he will be trapped in the Maya's energy. So actually, when Jiva comes out of the womb of the mother, he himself. So when it is said in Bhagavad Gita, so in the 3rd chapter it seems, a jiva thinks himself is the doer. Actually, he is not the doer. So the ultimate doer is Karanam Gunasangasya Sadasat Jatma Yodisu. Based on your activities, so nature has awarded one body to you. So, and Jiva thinks himself as a doer, but actually he is not the doer. So in the modes of three modes of material nature, nature actually is the doer. Prakriti guna karmani, prakriti, yes. Gunai karmani sarvasaha ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. Ahankara vimudatma. So vimudatma is this jiva. So when jiva falls in the trap of material nature, she is called as vimudatma. Muda atma. Vimudatma means, so he was his mind and intelligence was covered by the material nature. In that way, he thought that he is the maintainer or he is the doer of everything, but he doesn't know. Ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. Actually, it is done by Prakriti. So, but he himself thought that he is the ultimate doer. But who is the ultimate doer? Prakriti, and above Prakriti, Supreme Personality of Godhead is there. So, by their directions, so Jiva is entrapped in the material nature. So, but fortunately, if one devotee touches that particular Jiva, so he will engage all his senses for the service of the Lord. So, that is called Bhakti. Hrishikesha, Hrishikena Sevanam, Bhakti Ruchyate. With his all the senses, if he serves the Supreme Lord, so then he perfects his life. So when a Shiva with his all senses, he serves Supreme Lord. So then Supreme Lord being situated as Paramatma in everybody, so he understands this particular Jiva now he came to right path. So as a Chaitya Guru inside the heart of a devotee, he will guide that particular person to a Guru. When that particular person surrenders to that Guru, so with the help of that Guru, he makes his life perfect. Or else what happens? No? So these three modes of material nature, so they will they will make this Jiva proud himself, and he will think that I am the ultimate doer. So whatever he does, whatever he sees, he feels that it is his own thing. So in that way, he will be entrapped again and again into this material world. So, and at the time of death, whatever consciousness he will have, so based on that material nature awards him the body. So on the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Jiva decides, Lord sanctions, and Prakriti designs next body. So in that way, he has to roam in this world. Abrahma Bhuvana Loka, Punaravrutti no Arjuna. So there are 14 planetary systems. So there are 84 lakhs of species. Based on the desire of the Jiva, so nature designs one body to that particular Jiva, and he has to roam throughout the 14 planetary system in the 84 lakh species of lives. We all know that in the Padma Purana it is said, Jalajana Navalakshani, Stavara Lakshatimsati, Kriminamruta Sankhyanam, Jantunam Lakshatrimsati, Manushanam Chatur Lakshanam. So like that, in the 84 lakh species of life, that Jiva should wander in this material world like Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Charanam. So again and again, he has to enter into the different yonis of different living entities. If he feels that, so he is the ultimate doer. So by the mercy of the devotees or by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, Brahmanda Brahmate Kono Bhagyavana Jiva, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. So if he is most fortunate, so he will get the mercy or prasada of Guru and Krishna. So and then he can stop the like fairy wheel. So Prabhu was explaining in the previous classes. So Jiva like a fairy wheel. So what happened? No, this magic wheel when it circulates. So first once he will be in the down, sometimes in the middle, and sometimes in the top of the wheel. So in the same way, when the Jiva, based on his activities like pious activities or impious activities, he will get sometimes the body in the demigod's body, sometimes like in the human bodies, sometimes in the demon's body, sometimes in the animal's body, and sometimes in the lower creatures. Because of his tamoguna, he has to take different bodies based on his activities. So Krishna also further is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, Urdhvam Gachanti Satasva. If a personality at the time of death, he was in the Sattva Guna, he goes to higher planetary systems like Sargaloka, Brahmaloka, Siddhaloka, Tapoloka, like that. So the Jiva goes to higher planetary system. So at the time of death, if he is in the Rajoguna, Urdhangachati Sattasva, Madhya Tishtati Rajasa. Madhya Tishtati means, so he will live in the Bhumandala. So yesterday I was explaining that the Bhumandala is the middle planet. So there are 14 planetary systems. Upper planetary systems are 6. 7th one is Bhumandala. So in the 7th planetary system, so these jivas will take as human beings, or some more higher conscious human beings also he can take as a birth. So Jaganna Guna Vrittishta Adogachanti Tamasa. So Adogachanti Tamasa means if he is in Tamo Guna, so he will go down to animal kingdom. So we know that different varieties are there. Trees body, animals body, like microorganisms or birds, so reptiles, like different bodies are there. You have to take that type of body. So these are all dependent on the consciousness of the jiva at the time of death. So Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, Yam Yam Bhavi Smaran Bhavam Tejantante Kalivaram Tam Tam Yevaiti Kaunteya Sada Satbhava Bhavita. At the time of death, whatever the consciousness the jiva was there, based on that, he will get his next destination surely. Say suppose a person at the time of death, he wanted to eat meat. So he will be awarded by material nature like a carnivorous body like tigers, lions. If at the time of death he wanted to swim, so he will get the body of a fish. Or at the time of death he wanted to fly, so he will get the body of a birds. So at the time of death, you want to remember Supreme Personality of Godhead, because at the time, throughout your life, you have practiced devotion service. So at the time of death, if you automatically remember Supreme Personality of Godhead, so then Krishna is saying, Antya Kalecha Maveva, Smaran Muktva Kalevaram, Yah Prayati Samatbhavam, Nati Ratrasya Asamsaya. At the time of death also, if you remember Supreme Personality of Godhead, so you will automatically go to Vaikuntha Loka. So we have seen that. So even though if you entrapped in this material nature, by fortunately, if you remember the names of the Lord, so you will automatically goes to Vaikuntha. So in the history of Ajamila also we have seen, even though he was entrapped in the material nature, so because he did at least 10 to 20 years of devotional service, by the mercy of the Lord, so he got that wonderful body of Vaikuntha living entities. So he got the body of body like Krishna. So that is called Sarupya Mukti. So in that way, so this particular sloka explains, if a jiva got activated his senses with the help of Supreme Lord, if he utilizes all those senses for the service of the Lord, so he will liberate. Or else, if he uses it for his sense gratification, so he has to come again and again into this material world and suffer like anything. Okay, na? Hare Krishna. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. So this sloka is sent now. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me.
Prabhu, I have one question. We have 14 planets now, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Which includes Vaikuntha planets, right?
No. So in this material world, there are 14 planetary systems.
Okay.
Above this 14 planetary system, so there is Kailasa, and above that, Vaikuntha planets.
Okay, Prabhu. Thanks, Prabhu.
Okay. So it will come in Brahma Samhita. Devi Mahesa Aridamasa Tesu Tete Prabhava Nijaya Nidvihitasa Yena. So first it is there, Devi Dham. So this material world is called Devi Dham. Devi Mahesa. Mahesha means Lord Shiva. Above this material planets, there is Mahesa planet, that is called Kailasa. And above Kailasa, there is Haridama, that is Vaikuntha. So above Vaikuntha, there is Goloka. Okay, no problem.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yes, bro. Anybody have any doubts? So sorry if you are not understood at any point of time, any point, you can ask me. Even if you are not fully understanding, also you can clarify it, because maybe my English might have not been understood by some persons. So because I was I was Telugu candidate up to my intermediate. So after that in the degree I have to take English. Yeah. So maybe my English not that much understandable. If it is not understandable, if you please question me, so I'll explain once again.
Wonderful class, Prabhuji.
No problem, Prabhu. Excellent, Prabhu. Your English don't have any doubt, Prabhu.
No barriers learning Lord Krishna. This thing, Prabhu. There is no language barrier.
So
Nice.
I don't know
Try to
whether
go
I'm
Oxford
communicating
University.
properly or not. But I think if you understand, I'm very happy. So Lord has given this chance to purify myself.
Very well.
Guruji, this language is so much sufficient for our Indians, Guruji.
Thank you, bro. Thank you,
We
bro.
have that well done.
Yes, yes,
They
bro.
are very good to understand. You got very good understanding.
Yes, bro. Thank you, Muriratnam.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభు.
Sunita Mata, Hare Krishna.
ప్రభు ఒక్కసారి హ్యూమన్ బాడీ ఎలా వస్తుంది, హ్యూమన్ ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ లైఫ్ ఎలా వస్తుంది ఒకసారి చెప్పరా ప్రభు?
Human form of body ante actually Mataji, this human form of life will get after 80 lakh species of life. So human form of life is very rare. That's why Prahlad Maharaj, even this Nava Yogendras are also, they were explaining about the rarity of human form of life. So after 80 lakh species of life, human form will be awarded to the particular jiva. So generally, as per the subject, what I told you now. So when jiva fall down from the Vaikuntha, he was placed in one of the clouds, like small atom. So we know, can anybody see Atma or soul with our naked eye? Nobody can see soul with their naked eyes because it is very, very small. So it is explained in one of the Upanishad about the structure of soul. Keshagra Setabhagasya Setada Kalpitasya cha. So the size of a soul is very, very minute. So if you take the upper part of hair, your hair, if you take upper part of your hair, so it is very, very minute. And if you cut 100 parts of vertically, if you cut the tip of the hair 100 times, and if you take one part of that hair portion, and if you again cut that portion into 100 times vertically, so that 1 by 10,000th part of the hair is the size of the soul. So that soul is will not be visible to our naked eye. So when a jiva fall down, when he will be against the orders of Supreme Personality of Godhead, he will be fall down, and he was placed into this material world for his enjoyment. Because jiva also wanted to enjoy like a Supreme Personality of Godhead. For that reason, okay, if you want to enjoy apart from me, so you can enjoy. There is one more world for you. So you go to that particular world and you can enjoy as per your wish. So in that way, when jiva fall down, so Lord places him in the material world. He makes sure that jiva fall down in a cloud. So when that cloud rains, that in the form of water or in the form of rain, that jiva enters into the earth. So when that water comes to the earth, that plants which are there, they will take water through that water, that jiva enters into the particular plant. When that plant was eaten by any human being in the form of rice, dal, or something, so then that jiva enters into the particular person. When that particular person meet with the opposite sex, so through his semen, that jiva enters into womb of the woman. So in that way, after 9 months, that jiva takes birth. So understood, Mataji? I think this is your doubt, Mataji. Sunita Mataji?
అవును ప్రభు, ఇదే ప్రభు.
అర్థమైందా?
అర్థమైంది ప్రభు. అంటే వైకుంఠం నుంచే ఎందుకు వస్తాడు ప్రభు?
సో ఎప్పుడైతే మనము భగవంతుడికి అగైనెస్ట్ గా ఎంజాయ్ చేయాలనుకుంటాము, భగవంతుడు తన 6 ఓపెలెన్సెస్ తో సో బ్రహ్మ సమితిలో బ్రహ్మ గారు చెప్తున్నాడు. సో ఏమని చెప్తున్నా అంటే, లక్ష్మీ సహస్ర సంభ్రమ సేవ్యమానం. Supreme Personality of Godhead was enjoying with, so actually he is not enjoying. So Lakshmi Sahasra Sambrama Sevyamanam. thousands and thousands of Lakshmis, they are surrounding Supreme Personality of Godhead and they are serving the Supreme Lord. As soon as the Jiva sees this picture, so he also develop a desire in his heart. Why don't I also enjoy like Supreme Lord? So I also wanted to enjoy like Supreme Lord. So as soon as he wanted to enjoy like that, Supreme Lord seated as a Paramatma in the everyone heart, he understands that this Jiva doesn't want to serve me, but he wanted to enjoy himself. So for that reason, Lord understands that, okay, being a loving father, he doesn't want to intervene his enjoyment. So that's why he awards him one suitable body. So and he makes him to fall down this material nature. As soon as he gets one particular body in this material nature, Jiva tries to enjoy with his senses, as explained in this verse, Mataji. As soon as Lord activates his senses and mind, with that activated senses and mind, Jiva wanted to enjoy this material nature. Understood, Mataji?
అండర్స్టూడ్ ప్రభు.
ఓకేనా? సో జీవుడు భగవంతుడిలాగా ఎంజాయ్ చేయాలనుకుంటాడు. కాబట్టి నీకు ఎంజాయ్ చేయాలనుకున్నావు, నన్ను వదిలేసి, ఓకే, నో ప్రాబ్లం. భగవంతుడు ప్రేమ కలిగిన తండ్రి కాబట్టి సో ఆయన ఏం చేస్తారంటే ఆ పర్టికులర్ జీవాకి మెటీరియల్ నేచర్ లో పడవేసి తనకు సంబంధించిన తన నేచర్ తగ్గట్టు ఒక బాడీ ప్రకృతితో డిజైన్ చేయించి ఆ ప్రకృతి ద్వారా వచ్చిన బాడీలో భగవంతుడు ఎంటర్ అయిపోయి ప్రతి ఒక్క ఎలిమెంట్ లోకి ఎంటర్ అయిపోయి మైండ్ లోకి సెన్సెస్ లోకి ఎంటర్ అయిపోయి వాటిని యాక్టివేట్ చేస్తాడు. అలా యాక్టివేట్ చేసిన తర్వాత జీవ ఏం చేస్తాడు, ఆ సెన్సెస్ తో ప్రకృతిని ఎంజాయ్ చేస్తాడు. సో ఈ రకంగా యాక్చువల్ గా ఇఫ్ ఎట్ ఆల్ లార్డ్ భగవంతుడు ఆ పవర్ ని తీసుకున్నాడు అనుకో, అంటే ఇన్యాక్టివేట్ చేశాడు అనుకో, సే సపోజ్ వర్కింగ్ సెన్సెస్ లో 2 హ్యాండ్స్ ని ఇన్యాక్టివ్ చేసేసారు అనుకో, పక్షవాతం వచ్చేస్తుంది. సో లేదు 2 లెగ్స్ ని ఇన్యాక్టివేట్ చేశాడనుకో, 2 కాళ్ళు పడిపోతాయి. సో ఇలాగా భగవంతుడు జీవుడి యొక్క ఆనందం కోసం భగవంతుడు బాడీలోకి ఎంటర్ అయిపోయి ప్రతి ఒక్క మైండ్ సెన్సెస్ ని యాక్టివేట్ చేస్తాడు. కాబట్టి జీవుడు ఎంజాయ్ చేస్తాడు ఈ మెటీరియల్ వరల్డ్ లో. అదర్వైజ్ అలా కాకపోతే జీవుడు ఏమి చేయలేడు. సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద థింగ్ మాతాజీ. యాజ్ ఏ లవింగ్ ఫాదర్, సుప్రీం లార్డ్ ఫెసిలిటేట్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ టు ది ఎవ్రీ జీవా. సో సీటెడ్ యాజ్ పరమాత్మ. ఓకేనా మాతాజీ? హరే కృష్ణ. సునీత మాతాజీ, థ్యాంక్ యూ ఫర్ ది క్వశ్చన్. హరే కృష్ణ. సో ఎస్ మాతాజీ.
అంటే మనందరం కూడా అట్లా వచ్చిన వాళ్ళమేనా ప్రభు?
Yes, we are all like actually so when a question was posed by Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu to Jananivas Prabhu. You know Jananivas Prabhu Mataji?
తెలుసు ప్రభు, అదే మొన్న చూసాను ప్రభు.
So Pankajagiri Prabhu passed away recently. His brother was Jananivas Prabhu. He is the Pujari of Narsimha. So Narsimha temple in Mayapur. So when Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu asked the same question about actually all the jivas, Prabhu was asking, all the jivas are innocent. Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu was asking, oh Prabhuji, I thought all the jivas are innocent because we don't know what is the ultimate goal. That's why we are innocents, like that. Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu asked. Then Jananivas Prabhu, he answered to his question that we are not innocent people. Actually, we are all criminals. We want to enjoy apart from the Supreme Lord. So we want to steal the property of the Lord. We want to enjoy apart from the Lord. So like Ravana wanted Sita, but he doesn't want Rama. So then what we are called? We are called as criminals only. Okay, Mataji.
Okay,
so actually our position is like criminals. We don't want to give to the Lord. Moreover, we want to enjoy the property of the Lord. Like Ravana, so he wanted Sita, the property of Lord Rama, but he doesn't want to serve Lord Rama. So generally, apart from the devotees remaining, and all are called criminals only. So by thoroughly understanding subject matter of pure devotional service, so we can gradually elevate to the pure devotional platform. At that consciousness, we can go to Vaikuntha. Okay, Namaste.
ఓకే ప్రభు. హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభు.
Hare Krishna.
బాగా చెప్పారు ప్రభు, చాలా బాగుంది ప్రభు క్లాస్.
Thank you, Mother. So please bless us, please pray for us. So all glories to Guru Maharaj, so Vedadari Prabhu, and all the senior Vaishnavas. Thank you, Mother. So Gradra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Shri Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So we'll pray for Vedadari Prabhu and Mahesh Prabhu, and other devotees who are suffering with COVID and other abnormalities and health issues. Even Saraswati Mataji, Vendari Prabhu's mother also is not feeling well. So we'll chant 3 times for all of these people. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Yes, bro. Hare Krishna. So we'll wind up the class. Kalan, bro.
Yeah, bro. We're ending
Hare
this. Thank you so much, bro.